As the media discuss tolerance and intolerance and hate and not love and billionaires getting off the hook with whatever they want and brand new innovations that are age old and used to exist, but now they want like praise for reinventing the wheel, and censorship on Facebook and the internet all over the place, and bees going extinct because of climate change and rain and just random events that are man-made from CO2, not from clouds that are being sprayed every single day, almost, except for Sundays. And tons of things that are going on in the news that you're either left or right. It's a good time. Left or right, you're up or down, you're black or white, you're gay or straight, you're trans or, I don't know, whatever. Everything is starting to make sense for some people and is getting more and more left or right or up or down for other people. It's all wizardry. It's them showing their pretty little smiles, throwing their billions of dollars around to influence things, giving you a little chance to make your opinion known down here, which they're probably using for data mining purposes and polling and all that. And whenever they don't get the results they like, they just republish it, hoping that it'll filter back out while they're selling their ad revenue. They're profiting all the way. They're laughing all the way. Whether you like this or not doesn't matter at all. It's going to happen whether the way that it's going to happen, whether you like it or not. It's whether you vote left or right doesn't matter. The little political party that comes in is going to get to fulfill some of their promises, and then they're going to get to push the agenda that's already been written, that's being written, and it's going to keep going no matter what. So, but the things you read about in the news don't really affect us. None of this is real. So some things are real. Some things are very important, like our fellow citizens in our little areas, buildings that are crumbling to the ground because of developers sitting on them they're letting them crumble so that they can build a freaking condo probably. Now they're going to make you feel bad that the building is crumbling because it's a heritage site or something. I don't know. They're all a bunch of magicians. They just make you feel for buildings and make you hate people and make you love animals, and then they mock you by showing plastic flamingos instead of real flamingos. Half the people in this probably understand. They're probably sitting there. Half of them are blaming the pair. What happened? Someone killed a bird. A child killed a bird. The kid didn't know what he was doing. Even if it was malicious and he was like, haha, throw a rock at a bird. It's, people are just so caught up in this. And some people get it. They're like, why is the picture? They can't find a real flamingo anywhere? There you go. See, they did it on purpose. They added it with the flamingo, and then they added it without the flamingo. It's marketing. It's actually, they probably added this one by accident, and then we're told, what the hell? No, use the plastic flamingo. And then all they did was change the flamingo. But all of this news is garbage. Okay? It's all just mimicry, so you don't have to pay attention to this. This is stuff, sorry, not this. More so this, like local news is stuff we need to care about. It's stuff that affects us. And they're just going through the process of telling us. And then we have to fight them for, like this thing. They tell the school board, we're going to steal your schools. Figure it out. And then we have to figure it out. No, you're not going to steal the schools. That's how you figure it out. Put your foot down. You don't compromise with assholes. Sorry, with liars. You don't compromise with liars. You just tell them they're lying or walk away from them and, slowly back away, waving and smiling at them, saying, okay there, buddy, and they're not going to get what they want. You just put your foot down. Now, see, the reason I read this earlier today, this is stuff that really affects us. This is a kid, or a man at that point, was killed by police and by his own mental illness in a way, because it drove his parents to a point where they felt they needed to call the police. But obviously the police weren't the right solution, because now their kid is dead from being crushed and having a heart attack, and then the police are not even letting the parents meet them to figure it all out. They're just like, nope, sorry. So, we've gotten to a point now where if it's not evident that the police, the authorities, the government, whoever, the queen, that they don't care about us, if that's not evident to you, then just, move on and enjoy the show. But if it is evident to you, then stop, this is really sad. So, and it's real. And people around us know these people. So, it's very sensitive. They shouldn't be throwing this out there. We should all have answers by now, but no one's asking it the right questions. No one's doing the right things. You want to, what would you do if you really, really, really disagreed with this? You'd go out in the street and chant like birds, right? You go, oh no, the city's not doing anything. Hold some signs up in the air, and that's not the way to go at anything in life. That's never been the solution to anything. So when I read this, it really touched me because this guy is, he's one of us. He was having a hard time, and instead of helping him or supporting his family or supporting him, everyone just let him go down the hole, and then when it got too late, when they couldn't handle it anymore, they called the wrong people. And I really mean that. You never call the police on your own family member unless it's an emergency. Okay, a crisis is an emergency in a way, but it's not an emergency. You're not, if anything, call an ambulance, but they're going to call the police anyway. So the person needs support. He needs someone. You would have had a better chance if you called me. I'll take a beating from him, and some people are just amazing at diffusing situations, and police are not one of those people. Police are paid and trained to escalate situations. So their job is to incriminate people. How they do that is by escalating situations. They walk up to you every day and they give you a little paper that makes you angry. Yeah, you want to keep getting angry? Then get angry, and then they'll eventually charge you with something else, and then they'll have handcuffs on you and put you in a little cage and make some money off you. So, I see things in the news that mean nothing. Half the time, if you see a fluffy article, it's really sad. A flamingo was hit by a rock and killed by a child, had to be euthanized. Well, guess what? Guess where it is? It's probably nowhere near us. Bloomington, Illinois. So the only reason the media put this in here is for clicks, so they can sell these things on the side here. Look, see? This whole article is covered by a giant ad. You see that on all the articles? Look. Sorry, you do now, but you didn't a couple days ago. See, look. This isn't, it's got ads on it, which they're profiting off of this stuff. So just know that. That's how they make their money. So by making you click on little pretty things from Bloomington, Illinois Zoo, which isn't, there's no flamingos in Bloomington, Illinois, so it's all just wizardry. It's hocus pocus, it's watch the show, and illusions and all that. With stuff like SNC Lavalin, an amateur attorney or any judge on this planet would have looked that over for about 10 seconds and said, whoops, nope, they're not eligible because they have way too many crimes. These fools are the only ones you could buy that would try and even get you your DPA. It's not that they would look at it in a fair way. They're working for you if you pay them enough. So don't even do anything. Just don't engage those people. They're gonna get their way whether they want it or not. The only reason they haven't gotten the DPA so far is because someone stood in their way. The Jody Wilson-Raybould lady, she stood in the way for like a good little bit, so they kicked her out. And now they're having a hard time even justifying signing the damn thing because we all know about it. It would have been signed and delivered if it wasn't for her. And as corrupt as she may be, she did the one decent thing in her life. She didn't sign a piece of paper that she knew was definitely not, you couldn't sign it if you were an attorney. So, these are all shows. Look, they're all shows. Everything, this commission was about corruption. The commission itself cost us $40 million. We paid a judge, or I don't know who we paid, but there's $40 million gone to make a judge and a bunch of authority figures do their job that they're already paid a salary for. You always hear about it. Cops ended an investigation, normally about a search for a kid or something, because they're like, there's no more money. Well, it doesn't cost money. They already get paid a salary to do their job. So whether they're searching for a kid or standing on the side of the road handing out tickets, they already got their money. They're going to get it on at the end of every Thursday or whatever. So these are all just things that we see every single day that they're not going to end in justice. They're going to end in inquiries, commissions, and then eventually recommendations. So never will you get justice from these people, and never will they'll admit tiny little mistakes, corrections, and stuff like that. Decades later, centuries later, they'll never tell you they were wrong until it's way too late, until you can't do anything about it anyways. Now we have real situations, real problems, like our clergy have agreements with the Queen to investigate their own crimes. The police ignore men who they killed because they say, oh, he was mentally ill and he was on drugs. That's why he had a heart attack, not because we were pouncing on him and beating the shit out of him. And these are real problems that we have to face, and we have to look at these people and say, not these people, but the government, the leaders, or whoever we want to call them, the rulers, and say enough is enough. Just we're not going to support this. I'm not going to support this. I'm not paying shit for pedophiles to stay in jail. You want to reinstate the death penalty? Go right ahead. I'll fully support it. And in certain cases, we'll do it right so that it's all carefully implemented. It won't take decades to murder someone or to execute someone. It will be logical and fair. You take lives on purpose and you're sick like that, people always say, oh, I want fair treatment, fair treatment. Well, okay, you killed some people, you raped some kids, so we're not going to rape you. We're just going to kill you. That's fair, right? That's the only fair outcome. So just think about stuff when you read this garbage, because this news is all just stories. They even say stories. Fake cops, stories. Freaking billionaires, always the same people, always the same people. This guy married a billionaire. Now she's in the news. They're all the same people playing this game, and you are what they're playing. That's all it is. So, hypocrisy reigns. Enjoy the big show.